Hey, this is Wazenfeld. In the last video, part one, we talked about procedures, and we had just gotten through with manipulated variables, responding variables, control variables. Gather, label, keep, be sure, perform, record, repeat. That's the little chant we use to help us remember how to do a procedure. We had finished talking about setting up your lab and talking about the steps that you were going to go through. Was just going to say that if you do a table, it will help you keep yourself organized. It will also help you get points. Remember that these are the manipulated variables here. PC is paper clips. The number of paper clips. Our scientific question is, how does the number of paper clips affect how far my paper airplane flies? And then these right here, these are the responding variables. In other words, each square is a distance, one trial, with 2, 4, or 6 paper clips. We have 3 more steps to go. Gather, label, keep, be sure, perform, record, repeat. We're doing be sure, record, and repeat right now. So be sure to use, we're on the be sure step now. Be sure to use a measuring tape. That's also called a ruler, let's say. Or we talked about the squares on the floor. Be sure to use that measurement tool and the same one, remember, that could be a control variable too, to record the distance the airplane flies. We talked a little bit last time about when the airplane flies a certain distance, you want to be sure that you measure consistently where the airplane hits the ground first or where it stops flying, etc. And we have some conditions for that, which is how far, how long it stays in the air, or how often. These don't really apply. We're basically mainly thinking about how far the airplane flies. Okay, so be sure, not only do you measure it, but also record it in your table. So put the number here. Maybe it's 15 feet. And you also want to make sure you use units on your measurements. All measurements have units. So remember to do that. Then record. You've measured the distance. You've put it in your table. You want to make sure that you have all your data, all the measurements that you took, written down in an organized way. Now is where you really begin to see the power of a table. So a table that has your manipulated variable here and your responding variables here, and then your average distance here would be very helpful for you. All right, so you don't just do the experiment and don't write anything down. That doesn't help you. And you don't just do the experiment and not be careful about which number of paper clips was that distance, that throw, etc. So repeat each manipulated variable, so the number of paper clips, and your throws for each one for 3 times. 3 times is the minimum. Remember in the last video we talked a little bit about you want to make sure that you do it until you get some consistent numbers, something that repeats itself. If you throw the airplane, you get 15 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet with 2 paper clips, maybe start getting really careful about how you're throwing it. So you want to get maybe 12 feet, 13 feet, 11 feet. You know what I'm saying? You want your measurements to be close together. So that's why we repeat. We repeat for reliability. In other words, if someone was to repeat your experiment, it's actually not for 3 times, it's a repeat for reliability. Remember, if someone were to repeat your experiment, we want them to see the same results you got, to make the same conclusions that you made. So that's practice writing procedures.